Imagine walking away from everything you helped build. Leaving a home after 12 years means trading memories, trophies, and glory for a fresh opportunity, a new project, and a different beginning. But what if the moment you step out, you realize you're leaving behind something that can never be replaced? What if the path ahead doesn't feel like enough to justify saying goodbye? This is the story of Klay Thompson, a Golden State Warriors legend, who risked his legacy with a bold decision and now finds himself staring at an uncertain future. When Klay left the Warriors, it wasn't just about changing teams. It was about turning away from a dynasty he helped create. He played a major role in 4 championships, had unforgettable playoff moments, and set records like 37 points in a single quarter and 60 points on just 11 dribbles. Klay became the quiet killer, the silent warrior who always stepped up when it counted most. But time moved on. Injuries came, and the Warrior system evolved without him. In the summer of 2024, he made a big decision. Klay announced he was joining the Dallas Mavericks. The goal? To bring his experience, elite shooting, and championship mindset to a team hungry for success, led by Luka Doncic. At first, it looked like a perfect fit, but things didn't go as planned. Before we get into what went wrong, make sure to like this video. This is where you'll find the deeper stories behind NBA trades, with analysis, behind-the-scenes insights, and a cinematic view of moments shaping the league's future. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of it. And if you're still watching, drop your favorite Klay moment in the comments. We'll feature some in the next video. The 2024-25 season started with hope. Klay, Luka, and Kyrie Irving were supposed to form a powerful trio in the West. But reality told a different story. Irving struggled with injuries. Derek Lively didn't make the expected impact, and the chemistry never clicked. Klay appeared in 74 games, averaging 14.1 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 2 assists. It was his second worst season since entering the league. For a player known for explosive scoring, it felt like a distant memory of what he used to be. Behind closed doors, frustration became the most common word in Dallas. Sources say the locker room was shaken by inconsistency and lacked a clear game identity. Klay couldn't find the same offensive rhythm he once had in Golden State. Back there, he thrived off the ball, catching and shooting in rhythm. In Dallas, he was forced to create with the ball, something that never suited his style. Things didn't flow the same. Their play-in loss to the Memphis Grizzlies was the final blow. They lost 120-106, barely holding on to the 10th seed, ending a season that had started with promise. After the game, Klay was asked if he regretted leaving the Warriors. His response was short and sharp. "That's a ridiculous question. I don't believe in looking back. If I did, I wouldn't have returned after those injuries." Still, his words didn't hide everything. Something felt unresolved, and that's when the rumors started to grow. With the Mavericks' future unclear, their front office began to look at rebuilding around Luka. One of the main ideas? Trading Klay Thompson. Not as punishment, but as a shift in direction. Klay's name has popped up in trade talks, with several teams believing he could still be a key piece in the right setting. One option? The Miami Heat. Known for their strong culture, defense-first mindset, and desire for a title. Another is the Philadelphia 76ers. Klay's experience could blend well with Joel Embiid's talent. And then, there are whispers of going back home. A final run with the Warriors. A chance to close the circle, or maybe start a new one. Behind the scenes, the Mavericks aren't rushing. They're exploring the market, looking at offers, and deciding if Klay is still part of the future, or if he should be part of a rebuild focused on Luka. Because Luka represents the future. Klay is the past still trying to prove his place in the present. If a trade happens, it could be huge for Dallas. They'd gain cap space and maybe get a new athletic or defensive piece. For Klay, it might be his final shot to close his NBA chapter with pride, maybe with one last title, or at least with respect. But if he stays, the big question will still hang in the air. Was leaving the Warriors worth it? Klay took a gamble. He walked away from a system where he was a king, hoping to prove he could still make a difference anywhere. So far, the numbers haven't helped, but the fight is still in him. The same fire that brought him back from 2 major injuries. The same fire that made him believe in the impossible. Now, the NBA waits to see what comes next. And do you think the Mavericks should trade Klay Thompson? Or does he still have a shot at redemption in Dallas? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think. While Klay faces his quiet crossroads under the Texas spotlight, the team he left is writing a new chapter. And it's not just any chapter. For the first time in more than 10 years, the Golden State Warriors seem ready to move on from the Steph Klay Draymond era. And their next move could signal the start of that shift. Reports say the Warriors and Trailblazers are working on a deal that could shake the Western Conference. A trade that could swap generations and reshape philosophies. Jonathan Kuminga, an explosive young player and the Warriors' 3rd leading scorer last season, is rumored to be the centerpiece of a sign-and-trade for Portland's Anfernee Simons. Simons is a fast, sharp-shooting guard who just finished a season averaging 19.3 points and 4.8 assists. Also in the deal, Moses Moody, one of Golden State's top shooters, hitting nearly 40% from deep. This isn't just about swapping players, it's about shifting the very identity of a team. The emotional impact is real. Trading Kuminga, after years of hype, could feel like admitting the youth movement didn't work. Not because of talent, but maybe due to limited minutes or a lack of patience. Last season, Kuminga was benched during critical games despite being only 22. The trust seemed to fade. Greg Swartz put it plainly, when your 3rd best scorer doesn't play in key games, something's off. Maybe the issue isn't just Kuminga, but how he fits with Steve Kerr's system. Kerr wants movement, quick reads, and team-first decisions. Kuminga brought power and speed, but never fully meshed with the system. The problem goes beyond basketball. It's a quiet battle between today and tomorrow. Simons offers instant help, a proven scorer ready to contribute now. Kuminga is still a long-term project, full of promise, but needing time and trust. The Warriors have tried developing youth before. Wiseman, Moody, Baldwin Jr., but none have made a deep playoff impact. The pressure to win now doesn't allow for much error. Simons would fix an old problem. Since Jordan Poole left, the 2nd unit has lacked scoring. Simons solves that. He can share playmaking duties or lead the bench with scoring and energy. He also spaces the floor well, shooting over 36% from 3. At 25, he sits right between the aging vets and the young prospects. And his contract gives Golden State some flexibility for future moves. But the deal also makes sense for Portland. With no cap room to sign Kuminga directly, they see this trade as a rare shot to boost their rebuild. Kuminga and Moody are still on rookie deals and give high value at a low cost. They fit Portland's timeline and potential. Kuminga averaged over 15 points per game and brings athleticism. Moody offers efficient, steady shooting. Together they join Scoot Henderson, Shadon Sharpe, Denny Avdija, and Donovan Clingan. That's a young, exciting, and affordable core. It's a group that can grow, struggle, and eventually win together. Kuminga's defensive energy and transition play mix well with Henderson's chaos and Sharpe's creativity. This deal could reshape both franchises. For Golden State, it signals the end of their youth experiment. The idea of winning while developing didn't work. They must win now. Curry is still elite, but time is catching up. Simons could be the piece they need for one more run. Draymond, Looney, and Payton can still anchor the defense, but the team needs someone between them and Steph. Someone who can push the pace and create shots. Simons might be that guy. For Portland, it's a bet on time, on growth, not urgency. They're choosing to build slowly, like they once did with Damian Lillard. This trade lets them fully commit to that rebuild. To grow a group with chemistry, versatility, and long-term vision. It's a repeat of what worked before, but with more youth and more options. At the heart of it all is a question that defines today's NBA. Do you chase a better tomorrow or go all in on today? With Simons, the Warriors pick the now. With Kuminga and Moody, the Blazers bet on the future. And both are valid paths. The challenge is knowing when to wait and when to act. Picture it, playoff night at Chase Center. Simons and Curry sharing the backcourt. The crowd roaring as Draymond and Wiggins hold the line. Now picture the Moda Center 3 years later. Kuminga flying in for a dunk, Scoot pushing the tempo, and the Blazers on the rise. 2 paths, 1 trade, a decision that could change everything. It's more than strategy, it's a statement. So, would you make the trade? Would you swap Kuminga and Moody for Simons? Is it worth it? Or is it a desperate move to replace Clay? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this video kept your attention, hit like and subscribe. In our next episode, we'll dive into an Eastern Conference star who could be heading west. Don't miss it.